The vast majority of public 2- and 4-year colleges report enrolling students, more than 500,000 of them, who are not ready for college-level work. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in early 2018 that U.S. job openings had increased to 6.6 million, while the number of unemployed people was down to 6.3 million. There are more jobs than unemployed people to fill them. There is a mismatch between the skills, knowledge, and dispositions that people have and those needed for the jobs of the new economy. These are problems that Pathways data can help solve. Pathways data define routes to success and milestones along the way. There are different kinds of pathways to serve different purposes. Competency pathways define recommended sequences for learning skills, knowledge, dispositions, or practices. Content pathways define recommended sequences of learning resources or learning experiences. For example, a content pathway may recommend that a learner read a specific text passage, watch a specific video, and then respond to specific writing prompts. Credential pathways define sequences of credentials that build an individual's qualifications. These pathways often include stackable credentials that can help a person qualify for a different and potentially higher-paying job by adding qualifications to those he or she already has. Career pathways define a series of structured and connected education programs and support services that enable students, often while working, to advance over time to better jobs with higher levels of education and training. Although the 4 kinds of pathways have different purposes, their structure looks the same. In each case, the information can be visualized as a map. Points on the map, called milestones in this diagram, represent a competency, content item, credential, or career opportunity. Connectors between the points, called paths in this diagram, can be combined to form recommended routes for navigating from one milestone to a desired destination. For example, a career pathway in nursing may include an entry point milestone based on 1 to 2 years of training to be an LPN or an associate degree in nursing to qualify as a registered nurse, and then a pathway from RN to a bachelor's in nursing. This could be an example of a stackable credential, in which the registered nurse gets credit for the associate's degree and applied experience to meet some of the requirements of the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. Google Maps is a good metaphor for education and career pathways. Each route has a starting point, stops or turns along the way, and at least one destination. Data about the milestones on the map can help people determine where they are and whether a given destination is right for them. The paths that connect milestones combine to create routes showing all the possible ways to reach each destination. Data attached to each path helps the technology suggest the fastest or best route for a person given personal needs and other circumstances. When navigating with Google Maps, it's important for the app to know the circumstances about the user, such as that the person is riding a bike or is driving but can't take toll roads, or about the map, such as that construction or traffic congestion has blocked what otherwise would be the best route. Good navigation isn't possible without real-time metadata about the route. There are also circumstances in education and training. For example, a person wanting to obtain a professional credential might have a part-time job and be a single parent living 50 miles from the nearest college. A data-driven credential navigator would likely suggest a different route for that person than for someone who is able to pursue the same credential as a full-time residential college student. Complete map data can help bridge traditional institutional boundaries, K-12 to higher ed to employment, so that education and training programs are better aligned to prepare students for next steps that move the learner closer to a range of possible long-term opportunities rather than focusing solely on immediate goals. At a micro level, students and teachers also need contextualized feedback to navigate day-to-day learning pathways. The map data starts with competency frameworks and possible paths from prerequisite to post-requisite skills, knowledge, dispositions, and practices. This can be supplemented with metadata about the best routes to competency. Complete and up-to-date map data can be combined with contextual data to guide the teaching and learning each step of the way. Currently, there doesn't exist a complete and open set of data and metadata showing all the possible routes and opportunities for learning and career pathways. There isn't even a complete set of standards for this data to make it usable between systems. However, there are several initiatives that have begun to address this problem. Today, there are 3 openings in software engineering for every 1 computer science graduate. There will be a shortage of up to 2.5 million allied health workers by 2020. Nearly half of employers report difficulty filling open positions. Standards for pathways data interoperability will support better learner navigation that aligns secondary, post-secondary, and workforce learning, helping individuals develop the skills they need for life and in-demand jobs, and helping employers access employees with the skills they need to compete in the future economy.